Alex for Visordown.com here, and today I'm going to be going through our top 10 125cc motorcycles. You'll be forgiven for thinking that all 125cc motorcycles are the same. They absolutely aren't, but given the fairly restrictive limits a 125cc motor can provide, there isn't always the room to flourish or distinguish many of these smaller range motorcycles apart from one another, particularly when it comes to pure power alone. But it has to be said, there is plenty of fun to be had on a 125 machine, and manufacturers are recognising that this is a sector of the market they can't just ignore. We're beginning to see a huge influx of brand new models at this lower end of the biking spectrum, and I'd hazard a guess to say manufacturers will happily get you on board early with their brand before you pass your further tests and get a bigger licence, and with that they hope you get a larger capacity bike from them. The 125cc market is now one with so much variety, including adventure bikes, cafe racers, sports bikes, and of course naked bikes. But which are the best of the bunch? We've put together a list of our 10 favourite 125cc motorcycles that are on the market right now, so let's get into it. Lexmoto have been around in the UK for a while now, but it's only recently with the LXR 125 release that they have truly started making a sturdy name for their Chinese built motorcycles. First of all, the LXR 125 is an exceptional value starting from just under £2,500, and whilst there may be murmurs of Chinese motorcycles versus the Japanese thoroughbreds of the market, there is certainly an argument for what you're getting in this bundle, and it's anything but budget rubbish that some may instantly file it away under. The LXR provides dual front discs, an alloy swing arm, and big front upside down forks to boost both looks and on-road performance. In fact, the later released LXR 380 is on this exact same foundation. They've just stuck a bigger motor in there. Speaking of performance, the air-cooled single cylinder does only push out around 12 brake horsepower, but having ridden this bike, it truly is a good bit of fun. I'd say it's well worth a look if you're looking for a stylish 125cc with bigger bike characteristics. Another motorcycle hailing from the Far East, Sinnis created the Terrain 125 as one of the few 125cc motorcycles with adventure bike dimensions. It truly is a good size for taller riders, and even myself at 6'4" fit pretty happily in the saddle. In terms of style, the Terrain does tick a lot of the boxes. It comes as standard with 30 litre panniers and with the option for a top box and larger panniers if you fancy it. There's crash bars all around, a decent screen, and overall it's a great package for starter adventurers. The engine is a slight point of contention, with the air-cooled single only producing around 11.2 brake horsepower, which is perfectly fine in practice at lower speeds, but towards the top end you begin to wish there was a little bit more power beneath you. Side note, Sinnis do have their T380 or the Terrain 380, which is their A2 friendly version, and that does seem to tick a lot of the boxes for a next step up for riders. We go from one extreme to another here, from largest to the smallest. The MSX 125, or as it's otherwise known as the Grom, is a staple for some in the 125cc category, and has quickly become one of the most recognisable motorcycles on the roads. As we put it, the all-round 3/4 scale does make you look like an adult on a BMX, which may or may not be a good thing for you. Sizing aside, the MSX 125 produces 10 brake horsepower, whilst you ride around on 12-inch wheels. It's a genuine ease to ride around town on, but we probably wouldn't recommend you go further than that on it. A big road may become quite daunting. Nevertheless, the MSX 125 has rightfully earned cult status and is an extremely fun option for a local run around. Surprisingly, the Ninja 125 and accompanying Z125 from Kawasaki were their first venture into the learner legal market, but it's one they've got bang on. The Ninja 125 is right on the power limit for 125cc bikes, and on the road it handles exactly how you'd expect a sporty bike to handle. It's a light bike, perfectly flickable and tuned for back roads and city centres alike. You'll be hard pressed to find a road where you can't have a bit of fun on one of these. Plus, how about those looks? The hooligan youth in us can't help but be drawn to the classic lime green hue of the Ninja, reminding us of a baby ZX-10R, one that Kawasaki is sure to deliver reliability and value with this 125cc offering, and the price is not bad for a sports bike. You may have expected us to go for the RS 125 from Aprilia here, and there is a spoiler alert because it may also feature on this list, but instead for number 6 we've gone for the same liquid cooled motor but found in the trail style RX 125. Now this is a very affordable package with the RX 125, and the winning formula has been used here to great effect. The engine is housed in a streamlined twin beam steel frame, surrounded by inverted forks and a rear monoshock, 21 and 18 inch wire wheels and semi-knobbly tyres. All in all, the RX is a great foundation for those riders looking for a solid bike to take down a green lane or two, and the Aprilia tags will make sure you enjoy every second of it. Part of the illustrious Duke family, which has become the backbone of the KTM brand, this 125cc joins a long line of top-of-the-range Dukes, which provide thrills by the fistful. First introduced in 2012, the 125 Duke has seen constant improvements to provide best-in-class tech and features. This one has a liquid-cooled single motor punching out the upper limit of power for a 125cc, a lightweight steel trellis chassis, top WP inverted forks and shock, with sharp brakes and an overall air of being the dog's nuts. KTM don't often mess around when it comes to decking out their bikes, so if you're eyeing up this one from afar, you can rest assured that you won't be let down. Give one a go if you get a chance, I reckon. The CB125R from Honda follows on from their immensely stylish and successful Neo Cafe range, which was unveiled with its big brothers, the CB650R and CB1000R, and does mean it seems to be a bit more substantial than your typical 125. The CB125R is a brilliant meshing of performance, style, quality and novice-friendly riding and value. Whilst the liquid-cooled single-cylinder doesn't quite sit at the top of the power spectrum with its rivals, it's around 1.7 brake horsepower short. In the real world, it's perfectly suited for the on-the-road power, and you for sure won't be left for dust at the lights. For a touch over £4,000, you'll get yourself a perfectly capable, reliable and stylish 125cc machine from none other than one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, not to be missed. Getting into our top 3 now, and at 3 we have the behemoth, that is the Yamaha MT-125. The MT range from Yamaha is a favourite amongst riders, and given it sees updates almost yearly, it's one of the staples of the 125cc market. The motor on the MT-125 makes use of their fairly new variable valve timing setup, which gives you more grunt at the low end and top end, all while still fitting in the 14.7 brake horsepower output limit. Yamaha also packed their motorcycle with the latest and greatest tech: a lighter 6-speed gear change, delta box chassis, inverted KYB forks and rear shock, and updated styling package. You certainly get a lot with the MT-125, but you definitely pay for it. It's the priciest of this type of bike on the list. It may no longer be the smoky two-stroke that we all loved from back in the day, but this RS125 GP Replica is a serious bit of kit for any 125cc rider. The modern RS125 is a liquid-cooled, fuel-injected 4-valve double overhead cam machine that will deliver the upper limit of 14.7 brake horsepower. Add this to the incredible looks, inverted forks and radial brakes, and you find yourself with a top-of-the-range 125cc motorcycle that is worthy of any new rider's dreams. It's certainly a ton of fun on the roads. The base version is £4,499, but for an extra £100 you'll get this GP package with bonus sports styling, an up-down quick shifter and plenty of bang for your buck. Act fast if you fancy one though. It seems that the RS125 may be facing the axe in favour of a higher capacity version in the near future. Finally, and in our number 1 spot, is the Yamaha R125, formerly known as the YZF-R 125. This 125cc sports bike is, of course, right on the power limit, and alongside the variable valve timing to boost usable power in mid-range, this sports bike has dimensions that will truly make any 17-year-old feel like a young Rossi. That is, if you fancy going for the MotoGP replica finish. The R125 does everything you'd want from a 125cc, and especially one that is in any way related to its big brother, the R1. With revised delta box chassis, new aluminium swing arm, and fatter 140 section rear tyre, new LCD dash and a host of optional accessories, you could even stick a Krapovic can straight out of the dealership on this one. Is there any other 125cc motorcycle more worthy of our number 1 spot? I'm not quite sure there is. This really is a superb bit of kit. If I was 17 again, I'd definitely be eyeing one of these up. So that's our top 10 125cc motorcycles. Hope you've enjoyed listening and learning all about these beautiful machines. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also click that little bell icon so you get notified when we upload all of our latest videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.